And I love this chapter. You know why, Arturo? You know why we love this chapter? Is because it says start as an entrepreneur. So this is what we love about this, being our own entrepreneur. So I'm gonna give it to you, Arturo. So what was your takeaway, right quick, brother?
Yes, I hope you can see me and hear me clearly, and
Yes,
everybody
sir.
that's watching, right? Okay, awesome. We're super excited to be here once again. More than anything, there's a lot of great takeaways that we were able to get from this incredible book, especially because it's focused on the whole book, to start applying these skills, how to start being able to learn how to be able to communicate effectively with other individuals, other business professionals, with other people in different industries. And so she
Yes,
just talked
yes,
a lot about these incredible laws that she's been sharing with us. And so super excited about that, Sharita.
yes. I am too. I am too. Let me tell you, one of my first takeaways was law number 12, which is law of action. So let me just read the description to you, and I like this. You know that old saying, Arturo, doubt takes you out of action, action takes you out of doubt. You know that saying, right? So this is what she
That's
talked
right.
about. When we sit with indecision, we invite our enemies, the procrastination, fear, unbelief, and excuses into our lives. So when we sit with indecisions, we invite our enemies, right? Fear, unbelief, excuses, and procrastination into our lives. So this is why action is so important, guys. So then down here, she says, let me try to catch this. Uh, Learn that law of action is not taking action when it's convenient. It's not when you have the money or time. It's not waiting for everything to be perfect. It is not waiting until you have all the information first. Action is now. So it doesn't matter, right? So that's what she said, start where you are from, because she was homeless. And look where she went. So go ahead, brother.
That's right. About her
I
story.
lied. Okay.
Let me see. Can you hear me there?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Okay, great.
I can see and hear. Hmm.
Perfect. And so one of the things, there's a lot of noise around me at the moment, and
That's
you're
okay.
only able to hear me through my headphones. And so one of the things that she talks about is starting where you are, right? Starting where you are at the moment.
Yeah.
You talk about that, where she was homeless at one point, and she didn't want to do sales. She did not want to do.
Yes.
She didn't want to promote
Right.
any, just simply be able to do what worked. And so when she started to master her skills, and she started learning how to be able to do things effectively. She started using script. She was able to duplicate
Hmm.
other success. She was able to build
Hmm.
relationships, right?
Hmm.
Because she knows that, she says that she knew that it was either gonna be that she learned to prosper where she was at the moment, because with the when she was desperate, she had to let go of her ego, right? Her ego had to be get rid of,
Oh,
because that's what was
yes.
keeping her broke. And so when she was able to do that, she says that it was either stay broke, overweight, and homeless, or get started, right?
Right, right, right. Absolutely. And I like that part where she says build relationships, because remember, she didn't have any money. She had three, what, 2 or 3 cents in her bank account, and she needed to start a voicemail system so she can get customers. And she built a relationship with the guy over the telephone, so she can get a free voicemail set up, right? Hello, just by building a relationship, he set her up with no money down. Told her send him a check in the mail just by building relationships. And that's what this is about, building relationships and networking, meeting people, just being kind, like she says, honor people, just being kind to people. Okay. And so I like that. And that was a takeaway from me, for me. And she also says you had to be teachable, right? As an entrepreneur, teachable. Okay. And so that's huge as well. So that's a lot of, that's hard for some people. And I realize, even, sometimes myself, like I said, we talked about the ego thing. I didn't know I had that kind of ego as much as I thought I didn't have, but I did have a, some, and we all have some to a certain degree. But that was also another takeaway. It was a lot, but go ahead. I don't want to take it all over, but go ahead.
That's right. I totally agree with what you're sharing, because everything that she's talking about specifically in this chapter, I didn't even get to go through the whole. Like, I took incredible
Mhm.
notes, but it's just a lot of
Mhm.
incredible nuggets.
Mhm.
Because she's talking about learning how to be able to sell whatever it is that you already promote or
Mhm.
sell effectively.
Mhm.
As professionals, um, find people that have what you want and do what they do. Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Honor
Mhm. Mhm.
using the form technique to communicate effectively, learning how to talk to people about their family, their occupation,
Mhm.
recreation, and then sharing
Mhm.
your message, right? So little things
Right.
like make a big difference. She did mention a
Mhm.
lot about the law of decision, which was one of my favorite ones. On here, she talks about making a decision, where she decided to stop being broke and miserable, right? And she decided to change her life. So those were two
Yes.
decisions that she made,
Right.
and she applied that
Mhm.
law. She learned to follow her decisions with actions, right? And so that's one of the takeaways that I would say would get,
Right.
especially because all that, it was really good stuff.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly right. She says right here, successful entrepreneur mindset. Do not wait for change. They bring it. Do not wait for someone else to solve problems for them. They solve them. They're not afraid of problems. They live in results oriented economy. They do not think in terms of what they are being paid hourly. They have no escape mentality. Can't afford not to bring diligence to the table. Have to bring integrity to the table, going the extra mile. They ask, what can I do to make this deal so sweet for the client that it is irresistible not to work with me. They are Entrepreneurs are big picture thinkers and self motivated. You do not have to tell them to get out of bed to start a project. Do not sit around. Not afraid to call anyone. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty. Know each facet of their facet of their business, and think in terms of what else can be done. And they are driven. So that's mindset of an entrepreneur. And so that also helps me as well to when I'm out here, I see people who have that kind of right. What do you want to call them? Vigor, if you will, right? Who's got some pep in their step, right? Who's ready to make things happen. So that was a takeaway for me.
yes, exactly. And now that you're talking about that, as making taking action, she learns about how learning how to take action, learn to follow your decisions with
Hmm.
actions, right? And that's one of the takeaways that I was able to get, because when she says that when you're indecisive, you invite your enemies, which are
Yes,
procrastination,
nation,
right? Fear,
ignorance,
unbelief,
release,
excuses,
and
right? And
yes,
so many other enemies that we all have to face and deal with on a daily basis.
hmm,
And so,
it's because that
when
creeps in your mind.
yeah, and it's one thing that I'm able to really understand differently, because
Hmm.
it's something that we can all relate to. We all have these obstacles, these mental obstacles. But when you focus on letting others reveal to you their strengths, their interests, their goals, and things like that, it's a whole different story,
Hmm.
because professionals, what do? They interview their prospects. Well,
Yes,
amateurs sell, right?
yes, right. It's true. Hmm. Hmm.
That's right. And so that's one of the takeaways that I was able to get. Learning to interview instead of selling. And to be honest, I mean, it's been an incredible chapter, and I'm just very grateful to be able to continue to
Right,
learn all these incredible things.
right, right. And just to add to that, she about learning to interview, she says, ask questions so they can impress you, right? So that way, we want to see if they fit into what we're doing. That's the same thing like when you're having a job. When you're interviewing at a job, They ask you questions and see what your answers are and see if they think you're a good fit for their company. It's the same here. So have them, answer the questions so we can see if they're a good fit for what we do, all right, or anything, or whatever you're doing. It's the same thing when you're dating. Isn't it the same thing, right? You ask them questions and see if you got things in common or things you like about each other. So there's no difference again. But yeah, great. Loving it, excited. So anything else you want to add to it?
Exactly. No, I mean, there's so many other takeaways
I
that we could
know.
be talking about. One, I'm just gonna name a few of them real quick. That
Mhm.
way, we're able to
Mhm.
get this call because I am also on because my
Right.
computer's done. But it does talk about being able to be teachable as entrepreneurs. There's two types of people: people that think they know it all, right? And then there's people
Mhm.
that continue
Mhm.
to learn, always continue to grow in so many different areas.
Mhm.
And a lot of the
Mhm.
times, people that she talks about teachability and entrepreneur, teachability is the key to long lasting success as an entrepreneur, right? Because that's also a law. And it does help, because every day, as you're learning new things, you're able to apply these things. And at the same time, you can help more people by continue to learn something new. You're like a sponge. You're continuing
Right.
growing so many different things, and well, she talks about people who are broke and continuously with
Mhm.
their ego, they know it all, and so it's hard to work with people like that. And we
It
one of the
is.
things is that as long as you're teachable and you're coachable, which is what this is about, and it's
Mhm.
also something that she mentions is changing our environment, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Starting business, it's important to change our environment, surround ourselves with
Mhm.
success-minded people who will help us grow and support our dreams, right?
That's right.
That can make the entire difference between poverty and wealth.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so it's just one of the takeaways. There's so many different ones, and I'm sure it would because as you continue to gain more experience, over time, every
Mhm.
year you should get better,
Mhm.
because more
Mhm.
you're able to develop more skills. And then you hear people complain and
Absolutely.
whine that, oh my god, here I'm getting older and this and that, and so it's like, no, it's just change the perspective, right? Every year
That's
is
right.
getting better.
Mhm.
Every year should be
That's
getting
right.
better. And so it's
That's
our
right.
financial responsibility, right? That's one thing, one of the takeaways that I'm gonna let you take off on. And we have about
Oh,
2 minutes left. If
I
you
know,
want to go
right?
ahead
So
and
I'm just glad that once again we are together in this call and we're learning, and hope that we are bringing value to everyone that's listening. And so I wanted to just remind everybody we're on chapter 7 next Sunday, pathway to bigger profits. So I'm hoping everybody have had an amazing weekend, and hope they have a fabulous Monday right tomorrow. And we look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
bye bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.